Welcome to Escape Files. In today's episode, we're telling the incredible story of Colonel Serhiy Sobko, a man whose bravery in Ukraine's war against Russia has become a symbol of resistance. Over the next 10 minutes, we'll take you through his life, his heroic actions, and the sacrifices he made for his country. Stay tuned as we explore what it means to defend freedom in the face of overwhelming odds. Serhiy Sobko was not just an ordinary soldier. As a colonel in the Ukrainian Armed Forces, he had spent years serving his country, rising through the ranks due to his intelligence, leadership, and unshakable dedication. When Russia launched its full-scale invasion in February 2022, Sobko found himself on the front lines in the Donbas region, a place where war had already been raging since 2014. For Serhiy, this was not just another war, it was personal. The Donbas region where he was stationed had been a battleground for years. When the invasion began, the region was already a symbol of Ukrainian resistance. On February 24, 2022, the world watched in shock as Russian forces crossed into Ukraine. From the north, east, and south, they advanced rapidly with the goal of taking key cities, including Kyiv, Kharkiv, and Mariupol. The Donbas, strategically crucial for its industrial resources and proximity to Russia, was one of the first major battlegrounds. Sobko knew what was at stake. His brigade had been positioned in key defensive points around Donetsk and Luhansk, two cities in Donbas. As Russian forces approached, Sobko and his men braced for the fight of their lives. Outnumbered and outgunned, Sobko's brigade took up positions along the front lines, determined to protect Ukrainian soil. The early days of the invasion were marked by intense artillery fire and aerial bombardment. But Sobko's resolve never wavered. By the third week of the invasion, the battle for Donbas had reached a critical stage. Russian forces launched a massive offensive aimed at breaking Ukrainian resistance in the east. They had superior firepower, tanks, and air support, but Sobko and his brigade held firm. Serhiy Sobko's leadership during these critical days was nothing short of heroic. He moved from position to position, personally rallying his troops and coordinating defensive maneuvers. Every hour they held the line was another victory for Ukraine, another delay for Russian forces attempting to push deeper into the country. At one point, when the Russian advance seemed unstoppable, Sobko made a bold decision. He ordered a counterattack using guerrilla tactics that his brigade had mastered from years of conflict in Donbas. This surprise offensive caught the Russian forces off guard, allowing the Ukrainian troops to regain strategic ground. These tactical moves, combined with Sobko's leadership, turned what could have been a devastating defeat into a stalemate that lasted weeks. Sobko knew that every day his brigade could hold out was a day Ukraine could regroup and reinforce other parts of the country. But with every victory comes a cost. As the fighting dragged on, Sobko's brigade faced tremendous losses. Supplies ran low, and the toll of constant bombardment began to wear on the soldiers. Yet, Sobko remained on the front lines, never retreating, never faltering. In one of the most intense moments of the battle, Sobko and his men were tasked with defending a critical crossroads that the Russian forces needed to capture. Outnumbered and with limited ammunition, Sobko led a defensive stand that would go down in history. He knew the price of failure, and he was prepared to make the ultimate sacrifice. During the final hours of this battle, Sobko ordered his men to fall back to safer positions while he stayed behind to cover their retreat. He fought to the last moment, giving his comrades the time they needed to regroup and prevent a Russian breakthrough. Serhiy Sobko's actions during the battle for Donbas saved countless lives and delayed the Russian advance. His leadership and sacrifice became a symbol of Ukraine's resistance, inspiring not only his fellow soldiers but also civilians across the country. His story is a testament to the courage and determination of Ukraine's defenders, who, like Sobko, are willing to give everything for the future of their nation. Though Colonel Serhiy Sobko is no longer with us, his legacy lives on in the hearts of every Ukrainian. He is remembered not only as a military leader, but as a hero who stood against overwhelming odds, defending freedom and justice. Serhiy Sobko's story is just one among thousands in this ongoing conflict. His bravery reminds us that the fight for freedom is never easy, and it's often paid for with the highest cost. If you found this story inspiring, please like and share this video to honor his memory and the sacrifices of all those fighting for Ukraine. Glory to Ukraine, glory to the heroes. Subscribe for more stories of courage and resilience from around the world. This is Escape Files, and we'll see you in the next episode.